Hi, I'm David Siegel. In this video, I want to show you a small piece of Utah's ski history. This sweater that I wore skiing in the 1970s. This sweater is on the wall at the Alf Engen Museum of Utah Ski History, which is where you may be seeing it now, or you may be planning your visit. First, I want to tell you a little bit about me. I learned to ski from various ski instructors at Park City and Park City West, because every Friday, Roland Hall St. Mark's would put all the kids on the bus at about 11:30 in the morning. We'd eat our sandwiches on the bus and we'd be on the ski hill before 1 p.m. I had many great days learning to ski at Park City, Utah. I skied for the Brighton racing team, coached by Kay Smith, who pretty much did everything and has been inducted into the Utah Ski Hall of Fame. I switched to freestyle in the 70s. Then I skied for a store called Skier Salt Lake, owned by Dick Seeger, and competed for a couple of years in the Western Athletic Freestyle Association. And the culmination of my career was that I took third place in the Utah State Invitational Freestyle Championships in 1976 or 77. And that was in ballet, which was my specialty. I was coached at Snowbird by Al Johnson. I learned to teach skiing at Snowbird by Junior Benoose and Jerry Warren, two of the best ski teachers in history. I would drive up after school and take their evening classes, and it was the most valuable ski education I ever got. I hope that Jerry and Junior will be remembered for really creating the modern ski school that we know now with the graduated length method, trying to get rid of snowplow and go to hockey stop as quickly as possible. I have a website on that. You can learn more about it at skibetterfaster.com. This sweater has 92 ski tickets on it. It's actually missing quite a few, and I'll tell you the story as we look at all the tickets. We'll start here with the pins. I was somewhat infamous wearing the sweater all over and got a bunch of attention. People gave me these pins. This is Park City Ski School, Alta, and then somebody gave me this pin here. The story starts in about 1971. I didn't really intend to do this. It just happened. I probably skied about 10 or 15 days. And back then I was learning to do helicopters and worm rolls, getting plenty of snow on my face and body. And so these tickets would just get dilapidated from the moisture, and they started to just come off. So I cut all of those off and started again in 1972. So the oldest one is probably this one right here, and this is Park West. And then I started putting the plastic on right away because I knew that they wouldn't last if I didn't. Even so, look at this one, is pretty aged. These are 50 years old. And here you can see 1972. Park City put the date stamps on the tickets, which helps me a lot because the other resorts didn't. As I said, there are 92 tickets here. Here's 72 in Park City. Here's one that didn't get laminated. I don't know why, and it survived. That's pretty miraculous. This one just looks like it's been through the ringer. There's an eagle here, and I have no idea what resort that is. First Snowbird one here is 1972. Snowbird opened in 71. This is going to be Park West. Park City. This is probably mostly the ski school that we were in with Roland Hall. Here's my first winter park outside of Denver, 1972. This also isn't laminated. Lots of Park Cities. I was a regular at Park City, and you can imagine the mustachioed guys checking the lift tickets would always joke with me, and they'd remember me because I was the kid who they had to find the next ticket to punch, because these were always punched by hand back in those days. And this one is Snowbird, I'm pretty sure. Here's Brighton. They always put words on their tickets. And then Snowbird, chairlifts only, day pass. Let's go through Snowbird here. These wickets were introduced right about 1970. Before that, they just had tags that just tied on with a piece of string. And so this was all kind of new technology back then. Here, $7.50. So this is 1972. Park City, all day, all area, family plan. And now we're coming around the corner here at Snowbird. And then more Winter Park. Here's a Brighton Pass. So we're still in 72. It was a lot of skiing in that season. And then here's remember the Hexel skis and the amazing blue and green outfits of the instructors. It was so cool. Here's 74. So I remember these going in chronologically, and I'm wrong. Some of these just got put into holes that got missed, or some of the ones that are in worse shape that had to be cut off. Here's Alta. Base price. You're probably looking at this upside down. Here, let me do it this way. Here's Alta, and here says the price, and this is upside down for you, but here I'll turn it. It says the price is $6.22, 28-cent sales tax, and $6.50 for a day of skiing at Alta. Heavenly Valley, California, and then back to Winter Park. Heavenly again. I spent some time there skiing with some friends. 74 at Park City. And this is $7.50 family plan. Park City, Utah, 1974. So this is actually one of the full record artifacts from that year that tells you everything. This is a day pass, $6 from Snowbird. And I think that was 74 too. Here is Park City. Brighton always had funny words on their tickets. $7.50 at Snowbird. Here's more Winter Park. And then here's Aspen. I remember I came down on the toboggan after bruising my knee, I think, on this day. And then we have day pass at Snowbird. $6. That's chairs only. Stevens Pass, that's in Washington State. And this probably would have been 74. This is night skiing at Stevens Pass. And here's Aspen Highlands, which I really didn't like skiing there. It wasn't steep enough for me. And then 73. So some of these just got inserted into little blank areas where I had room on the sweater. Now we've got Alta again, $6.50. And this is plastic, which I think they didn't do for very long. And here's a 75, Park City. And then here's Solitude. Oh, that's what this shape is. So we've seen a Solitude one already. This is actually in pretty good shape. And then Copper Mountain in Colorado. And here's Vail. Here's Park West, Ski Park West. And finally, our last few here for Park City. And then we're done. So this is 92 tickets. After that, I had season passes at Snowbird. That's a tour of this artifact from the history of Utah skiing. And I really appreciate the people at the Alf Engen Ski History Museum for accepting my donation. I'm sure I had a lot more fun making this than you have had just looking at it, but I hope it gives you a sense of what was going on in the early 70s skiing in Utah. Thanks also to Warren Miller, who came to, I think it was Highland High or Olympus High every October to show us the latest movies and get us excited about the next season. I wouldn't have missed one of his events, and I miss him dearly. Thanks to all my friends in Utah for making growing up skiing in Salt Lake City such a great experience. You can learn more about me at skibetterfaster.com.